Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Thank you so much for following the podcast. You've done well. And thank you so much for following Arsenal Football Club. You've done well. I produced a video on my top 5 best Arsenal performers. It's really doing well than I expected. Make sure you humbly watch it. If you don't want to humbly watch it, watch it. Right, so and really big controversy there. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about Arsenal's transfer news at the moment. Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein back on the podcast, and of course, when we discuss Fabrizio Romano's comments, when we discuss David Ornstein's comments, you know those deals are really genuine. I know you're tired of the rumors, and that's why I want to bring you the top tier journalists, because at least for them, they give you the first-hand information. So we'll be talking about Gabriel, we'll be talking about Tammy Abraham, and we'll also be talking about what the summer is going to look like for Arsenal. It's not going to be a revolution like Fabrizio Romano has said. It's going to be 1 or 2 big players with heavy quality. And I'm telling you this, lads, if this video gets to 150 likes by 24 hours expire, I will reveal the big signings that Mikel Arteta wants at Arsenal next season, according to David Ornstein. So make sure, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but make sure this video gets to 150 likes before then. So then I'll be revealing those big transfer targets in the summer as revealed by David Ornstein. But let's get the party started. Let's start off with Fabrizio Romano. He's actually come out and said Arsenal in this summer, according to Edu and according to most sources he's spoken to around the club, this summer Arsenal will not sign in as many players as it is being rumored. And he has also said that this summer is not this summer is not about a revolution or evolution for Arsenal. There is not going to be a huge clear out, and we might not see as many players as we are being linked with. He's actually saying that Arsenal will be signing in 1 or 2 big transfers, 1 or 2 big names, come this summer. And they're also saying, he's also saying that Arsenal are looking at Champions League quality. That is to quote him, and I've really loved that. I've really loved it because he said about Edu. He said in an interview a few days ago, now it is time for us to sign 1 or 2 big players. And he said, just to clarify, last summer was the evolution. This summer will be time to sign 1 or 2 important Champions League level players, then smart signing. So that is according to Fabrizio Romano. This summer Arsenal are not looking at many signings. They're looking at 1 or 2 big signings, Champions League level. That is where it's interesting, lads, because for me, I've told you, we've spoken about this before, and I said the next level for Arsenal is Champions League. The next level for us is competing at the highest level, and that is the Champions League. So any player that comes in, all players that come in right from this summer to January next year to the summer next year, you've got to have that ability. Either you've played in the Champions League and you've proven, or you have proven that you can actually play at that level. So Fabrizio Romano, really good, really good insight in that. But I think what just gives me that kind of confidence that we shall also cover the other areas like right back backup, left back backup, and probably bring in some other players. He says then we will also focus on smart signings. I think Liverpool have done that in the recent transfer model in the recent transfers. That has been their transfer model. Bring in 1 or 2 big signings, and then make sure that you have formed that kind of base structure with very huge quality, and then just do smart signings. Luis Diaz in January, Thiago in the summer. I think Thiago is not a big signing. Thiago is just a smart signing. So is Jota. So is Luis Diaz. And all these players are world class, and they're going to become huge beasts in the in the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. We've already seen that Liverpool are now unstoppable, aren't they? Their transfer model, I love it. So according to Fabrizio, two big signings and then smart signings. Do not expect many players like 6 like we did in the last summer. Now that washes away many of the stories from Football.London, Chris Whitley and a couple of others that have been reporting that Arsenal will go for up to 6 players in the summer. That might not happen. Now moving on to what is happening elsewhere in terms of Arsenal news and transfer news. Arsenal have offered a contract to young player Jed Spence on loan at Nottingham Forest, but he's currently owned by Middlesbrough. Now, according to this is Pletigol, they've said Middlesbrough defender Jed Spence, currently on loan at Nottingham Forest, is said to have 5 offers on the table. Arsenal and Tottenham are interested, but the player is interested in the player. The player is available for 12 to 15 million euros. His dreams are for playing for Manchester United. Look, I mean, we know. Forget the dreams, because it honestly happens on a daily basis. Players do move to other clubs. Eden Hazard really wanted to play for Arsenal, and his agent told him, you've got to reason like a big boy. Go to Chelsea, build your career, become one of the greatest players in the world, win some silverware, and he did that. And we saw all the fruits that actually came out of that. So Jed Spence is one of those very exciting players in the Championship. Very exciting players in that age bracket. He plays predominantly at right back, and he plays predominantly as a right wing back. Now, the more I use these terms on the channel, I hope you guys do understand them. Right back, when you play in a 4, and that your right back is literally overlapping and then coming back. But then right wing back, your full backs or your right back predominantly plays as part of the midfield in a 3-4-3 or in a 3-5-2 or something like that. So according to Pletigo, Arsenal is one of the clubs to have offered a contract to Jed Spence. 5 clubs are interested in the player. We were interested in this lad in January as well. So it looks like Arsenal's transfer summer will be following the footsteps of what we wanted to do and didn't accomplish in January at the moment. So at the moment, nothing is agreed between us and Jed Spence. We have our contract on his table. Come on, young man. Take that, because if you look at what Arsenal is trying to do, I understand it's going to be the same kind of evolution and revolution and rebuild at Manchester United, but take the project that is moving. That's what I'm going to say. I'm really scared about Jed Spence. He's one exciting talent, and that's why you see me trying to fumble with words. I just want him to be part of this Arsenal project, because look, I don't think he's as defensive as Tomiyasu, but he can be that good. And of course, we've talked about Brook as well, as one of those very exciting right back options that Arsenal have. But we've seen that Mikel Arteta is really interested in Jed Spence. Spurs, United, all interested. We hope to see that. I mean, I just hope he signs for us. No other words there. But contract on the table, Arsenal can confirm that. Now, Chris Whitley has actually also given us a confirmation on the striker situation. And he said, Gabriel and Tammy Abraham are among the shortlisted profiles who could arrive at Arsenal in this summer. However, Football.London has learned that Roma have slapped an 80 million euro asking price on Abraham, which is likely to scare away many potential clubs and suitors for the player. Now, look, I did talk about Tammy Abraham yesterday. Chris Whitley, huge update. I love him. Oh my God, I love him. Chris Whitley, Charles Watts, Fabrizio, or David Ornstein. I mean, I love so many journalists, but Sky's Carve. Look, so Chris Whitley says that Jesus, which we know is pretty much done, according to David Ornstein, I'm going to be giving you that story, says he's pretty much done. And Tammy Abraham. Now, Tammy Abraham, the interest in Tammy Abraham is gathering, pace more and more, day in, day out. I think it started a couple of days ago, and now it's picking more interest and it's gathering more pace. Look, 80 million for Tammy Abraham. Are you crazy, Roma? Are you crazy? But then we also have to be very considerate. the lad has played there for only 1 season. I don't think Roma signed him to keep him for 10 years. No, they would be lying. Especially if he blew, they would sell him. But my assumption and my thoughts are that 1 season, after that 1 season, after that 1 impressive season, Roma will and we should want to keep him, and they will want to keep him. And honestly, there is no bad there. I mean, there is nothing bad. They've signed in a player like it's like someone coming in and saying, we want now Martin Odegaard. He's been here for a season and he's good, and we want him. And that could be Madrid or Barcelona. Like we would tell them, can you shut the fuck up? That's what we say. Can you shut the fuck up? So 80 million for Tammy Abraham. I'm looking at that as a huge fee, but when you look at how much they signed him for, so it was about 40, and he's made that massive upgrade to himself, massive upgrade to Roma, and Roma will rightly so believe that anyone who wants him should be paying double the price they paid, because they've made him a better player. They've given him the trust, they've given him the happy environment, and suddenly he's become the player they scouted last summer. So look, let's see what happens. But that is also that Tammy Abraham, one of the players that are really being chased by Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano on the Here We Go podcast has also said that Gabriel Jesus is one of the most important players on the list for Arsenal this summer. There are contacts between the agents of Gabriel Jesus and Arsenal, but there is no communication between Manchester City on the price. It will take some weeks. So look, for me, I'm going to say this, right? I will take the stand of David Ornstein, because Ornstein is closer to the deal than Fabrizio Romano, despite the fact that Romano has got stronger sources. Both of them are top tier, tier 1 journalists. So there is no need to doubt Ornstein and believe Romano. And there's no reason to believe Romano and doubt David Ornstein. So Romano has said no communication between the two clubs, right? It will take some weeks. But David Ornstein, this is what he said. Mikel Arteta knows Gabriel Jesus very well from working at City. Edu knows him well and is close to his representatives. I understand they've been talking for a number of months about this possibility. To the extent that part of the negotiations, is pretty much done and dusted. I hope you understood. So, according to Ornstein, yes, the two have worked together. That is Mikel and Gabriel. He understands the player very well, and that is going to play a very, very key role when it comes to Arsenal bringing him in at the Emirates. But also, you have the good relationship between Edu and the representatives of the player. Talks have taken place for months. I've said that, but that part of negotiations is pretty much done and dusted. So we're just waiting for that contact, for that initial. It's like you get a matchbox, you pull out the tray, you pick up the matchstick, you close the tray, and now you're just waiting for that spark to get the fire. I think that is where we are that close. Very, very close. There is a total agreement between us and the player and the representatives of the player. We are not the only club interested in Gabriel Jesus, and that's why I will continue reporting about the situation as it develops, because we are not the only club interested. Barca, come on. Can you just leave this one for us, Barcelona? We know you have got the money from Spotify Camp Nou deal, but just leave this lad for us. Honestly, we are asking humbly. So, Gabriel Jesus, my scattering report, I don't know whether it's going to drop today. I do not know whether it's going to drop today. I'm working on it. I'm editing. I'm editing my research. I've not even shot the video, so I don't know if it's gonna drop today. But if it doesn't drop today, it will drop tomorrow, right? So and the scouting report, and basically what we are looking at into that scouting report is why Arsenal need him, the strength, the weaknesses, key abilities, where he's come from, how he's doing, and what exactly do Arsenal look to get from signing him. And my verdict, of course, I'm always the judge on Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Now, a couple of people have left I've left their comments in my comment section. I want to say thank you, everybody, for doing that. I want to take this opportunity to say that I'm going to do a video on a daily basis for a fan, one subscriber. So what you have to do is go in the comment section, comment. You've seen that I'm replying to your comments very regularly now. So comment with a video idea you want me to do. Probably it could be a scout report. You would want me to compare players. Anything you want me, as long as you don't ask me what is happening around Haaland coming to Arsenal, because that is difficult, right? Actually, I think Odegaard was having his training. Oh, sorry, interview. Did I say training? Interview. And he was asked about convincing Erling Haaland to come to Arsenal, and he said, "Look, we have not talked much about him coming to the Premier League and everything. Like many people were saying that I'm convincing him to join Arsenal. Not really. We've not talked about that. But his parents, his representatives know what is best for him. And he said he's a beast that Arsenal would definitely need. And I can't disagree with him there. I can't really disagree with him on that. Now, lastly, Real Betis did win the King's Cup. The King's Cup in Spain. I think it's called the Copa del Rey. Yeah, so they won it. They won that King's Cup, and it seems like Hector Bellerin has been really impressive during his time there. So there are high chances that they will try to keep him. They want to sign him on it permanent. The player is already in love with the idea of being in Spain. So Spain is where he's born, but he wants to play in Italy because of the designer genes that he was born with. I mean, the guy loves fashion. And honestly, I don't like his fashion. I'm telling you. Now, I don't hate him as a player so much now that he's not causing problems for us now. So any deal for him that he feels comfortable, that he feels happy with, I'll be very, very glad to endorse that. I mean, the moment it comes to my table that Real Betis would want to sign him, I'll give them the endorsement. Why not call it a video? That is the latest around Arsenal and the transfers. I said this video gets to 150 likes. I'm revealing our big transfer summers as per transfer targets as per Mikel Arteta. What is the list? What does it look like? What does our list look like? Do we have names like, I don't know. I will not tell you, but let's get to 150 likes, and then I promise to release that video the moment it hits 150. Even if it hits today, I'll release the video. See you soon.